you had to do things like photo assist. What's that process like? What is that
So
mean?
so before I went back to school, I met this guy. His name is Johnny Rosa, and he was a celebrity photographer. He photographed people like Tina Turner, Snoop Dogg, Arnold Schwarzenegger, like a lot of people in the 80s. And I was working for him, helping him like go into like the digital age, because most of the stuff he did was film. And I realized that there was a lot of burden on me as far as like photo assisting him and helping him out. I realized that he was like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Like, you know, and I just didn't really know how to do it. That's when I realized, okay, wait, you know, and I didn't have any like photographer friends, or the friends that I had, they were on the same level. They didn't really know the answers to the questions that I had. So I knew I needed like someone who's not my employer to help me out. So that's when I went back to school.
You can't be like, I'll do it. Can you show me? No, that's why I have you. 100%. Yeah, man.
So I mean, so you both talked about like the business side of it, right? Like, so could you talk more about that, right? Because we're going to talk about the art, obviously, but like the business side, what are the challenges that you see that are really, that other photographers starting their own entrepreneurship, they should look out for?
There's a host of them.
So everything's a problem.
Well, it's not a friendly time for photographers. Let me tell you that.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I think what I just started telling you guys was like is really important, because what I realized was the mentorship was really important. And well, working for a photographer, because you know I was out there hustling with everybody else who was hustling, but there is a number of things. But I didn't have the money to pay for it. You know, like if I had all the money, I'd be able to hire whoever, right?
Totally.
But I think the best way that I found was to work for photographers, see what they're doing, see how I could help, and what I can learn from the situation. And that's how I grow. And that's so, like, I guess some of the people that I work for that was like really amazing, like this guy named Chris Kramer. He was doing like amazing work, like doing stuff for like Old Magazine, Vogue, like you name it, he was doing it. And I did an internship for him, and then ended up going on set and working with him. And some of it's like his archiving strategy was just like a big move, you know.
What do you mean an archiving strategy? Like he has like a library.
As far as like as far as like the way he preserved his photographs. So it's like if we're working together, maybe let's say we're on a job, right? Mm-hmm. Like we're on the beach, something happens to the hard drive that we're working with, like water spilled on it.
Right.
Like he had like a cloud, you know, like
right.
It was just like those are like that's a big business move to have a backup of like all the photos that you're working on on set that day. Mm-hmm. You know, like
it's like that's grown man shit right there. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's Matt. Is that something that?
Oh, I've done everything wrong. I've done everything wrong. And I tell my interns like, do it wrong now.
Yeah.
Like fuck up now. You know what I mean? But you're totally on point, and I'm so glad that somebody else believes in apprenticeship, because there's so much you can learn. I mean, like, there's so much you can learn that's positive. You can be like, wow, look at how this guy archives. Like, maybe I can't afford that right now, but I need to start thinking of aligning myself with that path going forward. Like, what can I do to start preserving my work? Do I just get a simple double hard drive? Do I stick it in a Pelican, like a waterproof case? Like, what can I do? Or you can also say, like, wow, I don't like the way this guy talks to his clients. Like, it's not effective. Like, I'm going to let him make the mistake. I get paid for the day and as an assistant, then I don't do that. Or I'll be like, oh, the way he's lighting something, I actually see how it's problematic because when you're not on the line, it's kind of like, you know how if you're talking to a friend, you can see their problems and what they're doing wrong, but when you're in your own shit, you can't see it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Like, you're not on the line for the job, so you're not in it the same way. So assisting affords you that, like, first person but still bird's eye view, and it's invaluable. And I think a lot of just to kind of properly shit on the generation below me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
No, you're not.
I'm half kidding.
Half kidding.
I'm half kidding. There's a lot of great people coming up. They're awesome, but there's this culture, increasing culture amongst some of those folk that are in the generation and the generation below that believe that they do things once or twice and they've got it. They can move to the next level. And it's like, you gotta kind of put in that. There's that. What's that?
The 10,000 hours.
Yeah,
or something
the
like that.
masters. Yeah. So totally with that, you know.
But
with you
also
there.
like the tools that was like that's the important part too of like assisting. It's like everyone gets to see our, you know, like on Instagram, like how to start a business, like the steps, or
Right.
you know, like you could
How to buy an LLC.
you can
you know.
YouTube all that stuff.
Everybody know everything on social
You,
media.
you could buy a house with no money.
And, but when you think about it, what they're advertising is, yeah, those are the steps. But what they're not advertising is what hard drive people are actually using in the industry. So that's what
Right.
apprenticeship
Standardized.
Yeah, it's like
industry standards.
Yeah.
And then even
standard,
if they are letting those secrets out, because occasionally I do see that.
Yeah.
You know, occasionally I'm like, oh, they let that one out there. I don't like that. But